Hi there, and welcome to the beautiful city of Istanbul. The only city where cats own cars and the police drive Bentleys. I was lucky enough to have a few nights here so I could take a day off from flying, but now we're in the home stretch to London, so let's head to the world's single largest airport terminal under a single roof and get the show on the road. Istanbul Airport, which replaced the city's previous Atatürk Airport in 2019, is around 25 miles to the northwest of the city center, on the coast of the Black Sea. And despite how massive this airport is already, the government has plans to increase the city's airport's capacity to 290 million people per year in the coming years. For perspective, last year Atlanta handled around 110 million passengers. That's the current busiest airport on Earth. Before we get into any of that, or this beautiful terminal though, let me welcome any of you that may be new to the channel. My name is Kevin, and I am the Flip-Flop Traveler. I'm a full-time creator with an eye to the skies and the beaches, and I enjoy my flip-flops nearly as much as I enjoy being honest and unclickbaity in my self-funded videos. If you'd like to know more about the channel or me, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Have a look around the channel. There are hundreds of airline and hotel reviews to enjoy. This inter-empire flight begins now. To me, the outdoor areas feel reminiscent of Kuala Lumpur's Terminal 1 and Bangkok Suvarnabhum's entrance. There are two things that stand out when talking about this airport, besides the over-the-top for the years to come. As I said, it opened in 2019, and its first test flight landed there in 2018. Would you believe that the bidding process, just to hire a contractor to build this entire thing, didn't even begin until 2013? My brain honestly cannot compute such a mega project moving so swiftly. Luckily, the vast majority of the land where it was built was already owned by the government, so there weren't many tedious site clearing procedures to go through. The second thing is what exactly happened on April 6th, 2019. That's the day when the city switched airports. Atatürk Airport was city center with no room to expand and running well over capacity. Turkish Airlines and the government coordinated a precise plan to essentially just swap airports overnight. I'm going to link a video that I've watched before above and in the description, which I really think is an interesting watch, talking about exactly how they pulled all of this off. And so, like magic for all of us not driving baggage carts across the city, this airport just became. It's amazing the world we live in now when every airline wants to charge for every ounce of baggage, but then most airports charge you to weigh your bags, so props to Istanbul for having these weighing and repacking stations all over the place. If you've been to this airport before, you'll probably agree that the motto here is, let's try to cater to everyone all at the same time. If you're flying in business class or have Star Alliance Gold status, you'll check in the fancy check-in area in the middle of the hall. On the right side for business class, and on the left if you have status. At the time I had Star Alliance Gold, so that's where I headed. Once through security and passport control, it's glitzy and busy. I've been here 5 times, I think, and I've honestly never seen it not busy. And there's a very good explanation for that. This terminal was built to handle 90 million passengers annually. In 2019, it handled 52 million. By 2024, it's estimated to have handled 80 million already. If ever proof was needed of the build it and they will come theory, welcome to Istanbul. I mentioned in a recent Qatar Airways video that Doha currently is the only true global hub with a purposely built transit hub and terminal. As soon as Turkish's flights to Australia start flying non-stop though, they will far surpass Doha in the same metrics. Turkish Airlines operates 2 lounges here, one for business class and one for Star Alliance Gold. They are more or less mirror copies of each other. These lounges are heralded as the best thing since sliced bread, and for the umpteenth time, I'm disagreeing. They are totally fine if you have an hour or two to kill, But if you have a longer layover and don't qualify for one of their private rooms, it's just not a comfortable place to get rest. There's a true lack of usable outlets. No matter how big this place is, you always have to search for a seat, and despite the lounge being dotted with live cooking stations, there is rarely too much life being pumped into them, with lines for hot food every time that I've been there. The airport is being built in 4 phases, and so far, only the first is complete. The second phase was started, and we're waiting on a new east-west runway. And then the third phase will add another mini-me terminal, which can handle 60 million passengers. Phase 4 then will add 2 satellite terminals, adding another 50 million more in capacity, and bring the total number of runways up to 8. Istanbul's other airport, primarily used by low-cost airlines, is also in the process of doubling its capacity, up to 80 million. So soon enough, a combined 290 million passengers will be able to pass through these airports every year. Istanbul, the city and the airport, is at a very interesting crossroads at the moment, particularly concerning Iran and Russia, since they handle so many flights from the two countries as a transit point to Europe and the Americas. The busiest international route at the time of writing is to Tehran, and the largest airline operator at the airport, after Turkish, is Airflot. Neither of those are really surprises though, since Istanbul is the world's most connected airport, with over 300 destinations served. Just by chance, I've actually done this exact flight on the channel before on an A321, rather than today's A330, so if you want to compare the service, I'll link that video in the description. If you're at one of the far-off gates like I was today, make sure you leave enough time. From the drop-off zone outside, it's around 1,300 meters, or nearly a mile, to walk to this gate. If you're enjoying the video and want to see more, please go ahead and click that like button, and more importantly, subscribe. If you're looking for lots more information on my travel in general, weekly posts, advanced itineraries, travel advice, and the like, or just want to show your support for the channel, I'd invite you to check out my Patreon or YouTube channel memberships. Boarding was on time and well organized by zone. Let's get on board our 13-year-old A330-300. Turkish currently has 355 aircraft with 281 more on order. Of their current fleet, 49 of them are A330s, and they pop up on a lot more routes than you would imagine. Some airlines always focus their flagship aircraft on their flagship routes. But that is definitely not the strategy for Turkish. For them, efficiency is the name of the game, so you'll often see these same planes heading to the likes of New York. Overall, it's a standard full-service long-haul seat with good width, decent legroom, and all the features that you would need for a long-haul flight. There's also a footrest, but unfortunately no overhead vents. Soon after we got settled in, the safety video started to roll and we pushed back. As for today's onboard amenities, we can't forget about the pillow and the headphones, both of which are fine quality for a 2-hour economy flight. The meal service began around 30 minutes after takeoff, with a choice of beef or pasta. I'm not complaining because it is actually delicious, but I think I've had this same entree in business class and economy around 4 times now on Turkish. Again, gotta hand it to them for being efficient if nothing else. Overall, I'd say I'd give the full meal with the cucumber salad and the pudding around an 8.5 out of 10. The crew on board were generally good. They didn't have that same spark as my last Turkish flight, but they were friendly enough given the workload that they needed to get done pretty quickly. As for the entertainment on board, you had a choice of mountains or movies. Their system is one of the better ones out there, with an extensive selection of movies on offer, as well as live TV channels and a good moving map. The flight was also meant to have Wi-Fi, but I just couldn't connect no matter how hard I tried. I was impressed in the bathroom. Not only was it very clean and tidy, but they even had their molten brown soaps and things on offer. In retrospect, I was thinking if I may have been in a business class bathroom, but I do remember on my last flight in economy, they also had the same products, so props to them for keeping standards high. And with that, a gorgeous approach into Rome. I have a new airline ranking sheet which I'll be adding to each video this year. All of the tails that you see on there so far are the airlines that I've posted on the channel. Some airlines I've flown 5 times, some just once. This ranking sheet is just a fun way to keep track of my thoughts. There's nothing scientific here. It's just my lasting impression of the airline at the moment for what they are, looking at the full experience. A low-cost carrier could be a 10 for what it is, just as easily as a full-service carrier could be a 1. I had Turkish at a 6 already, and it's going to stay right there with this review as my opinion's just about the same. In business class, I think they consistently underperform, and in economy, I think they consistently overperform. So overall to me, they're a solid and reliable airline, which I'd happily fly again, but I'm not in love with, and here, that's a 6. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this trip report today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time on British Airways.